What's up, y'all? My name's Trent. I'm with Dow or Tau Trader, however you want to pronounce it. Let's go over the price action today, what we can learn from it, what we can gain from it, and what we might be looking for tomorrow. As I do every morning on Facebook this morning, I posted my trading plan. We'll start by looking at that. This was posted before pre-market. Before market open. Uh, all right, whatever. Says this morning we're opening above value high, which means we have a slight edge to the bullish side. Though a small pullback after open would not be unreasonable. The reason I suggest a small pullback after open is that we calculate how much time was spent above closing price yesterday versus how much time was spent below closing price yesterday. And when we have a whole bunch of time spent to one direction or the other, it creates an imbalance in the price. And oftentimes we'll see that get corrected after market open or sometimes just before market open. So we were like extremely net long this morning. So that's why I say that. And I stated if you zoom out on a chart, we appear to have a double bottom. So higher lows above the neckline of that double bottom give us a great setup to enter long back to all-time high. If that long setup fails and we get instead a lower high below the neckline after a failed breakout above the neckline, then I would look to short back to the nearest bottom, being yesterday low a day. It's important not to forget the market could just consolidate again as it did yesterday. If we fall back into the value area, then I would exercise strong caution toward that. So we'll just pull it up on the chart here. So this is what I posted this morning, probably about an hour. That was posted about an hour before market open. When market finally did open, we had some strong rally to the upside, gapping up before market open, which kind of complicated trading this morning. For me, and I think many others. But let's see what I was suggesting. One thing I suggested was a higher low over yesterday high a day. Could bring us up to the high from last Monday at 624. And then if we got a higher low above that to all-time high. Another thing I suggested was maybe we pull back to the value area high, reverse back long, and go back up. So let's just see exactly what happened. You could see right out of the gate, instead of just bouncing down and closing that gap real quick like we normally would have with a small gap up, we just booked it straight out of the gate. So trying to catch this morning, difficult for anyone. Not something that I could recommend. Like extremely difficult. Like how do you manage risk in something like that? You really don't. There's not a good way to do it. You have to wait for a setup. You can't chase the stuff. So let me just keep moving forward till we kind of see what happened today. All right. So eventually we did kind of do a inverted V-shaped reverse recovery back to yesterday high a day. Then we actually did pull back to value high, and you can see that we found support there at value high. As I suggested, we may find before market open. And we did get a valid reversal pattern above value high. So if you ask me, this is a good long right here. One issue I do see with it is that we're kind of sitting at yesterday high a day, and that could be acting as resistance. But we did pull back to value high. We did get a reversal pattern. We are above it. I mean, it's a good setup overall to go long. Now, we just consolidated for like ever. It really felt like. And then you can see here's another setup I kind of like. We got this bull flag above the VWAP. I did catch this one. Um, and then let's just see what happened. So price literally closed right at 624, which was Monday's high, which I did mark this morning on the charts before market open. Um, I mean, it was kind of consolidating, running right out of the gate out of that, made it hard. If you were playing QQQ this morning, what happened was it ran up, hit the all-time high, and then just pulled back drastically to yesterday high a day and lower. That could have been a setup over on QQQ. I don't know how you would have caught this up or down movement on SPY without doing some really risky stuff. The best setup, obviously, was the pullback to value high, the double bottom, getting above that double bottom, kind of having a large area of risk. Let's see what the risk to reward is off that to the next level. Let's just see. I'm sure it's not the best, but yeah, it's about 1.8. The trade I did take was that bull flag above the VWAP. I entered probably in the middle of that bull flag somewhere. See what the risk reward was on that. And see, the risk reward on that trade was actually really decent. Uh, Close to 4R. Was a winning trade. Um, as the market was screaming up this morning, I was just like, isn't this gap going to close? And like having the discipline to not chase this crazy stuff is really, 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 really hard. Like you're just watching that and going, oh man, look at all the money I could be making, all the money I could be making. But how do you play this with good risk management? Because good risk management is like number one, protecting your capital is number one. So I just don't know the simple answer to that. I mean, and then really, if you think about it, this kind of looks like a bull flag above the VWAP. Luckily I didn't go for it, but I mean, yeah, that's a definite bull flag. I guess you could have played it like this. Failed bull flag, you go the opposite direction. You could have gone short and closed the gap. So that would have been a fair trade if that was the trade you took. Plus, if you were watching QQQ and saw that it rejected hard off the all-time high, you would have had some kind of confirmation with this trade. And risk reward, 2R, not the worst. But I guess those are the three decent setups I saw today. If you saw any better setups, then you know, comment. What did you see? So what can we be looking at for tomorrow? Over here on the right side, is a chart with updated lines. What do we see happening? What are the options? All right, so here's a daily chart. I mean, my gut says we're going back to all-time highs. Um, broke out, got a higher high, got a higher low. We don't quite have a higher high yet, but we haven't broken that previous low. So my first instinct says that we can be looking for this tomorrow. That would be the first thing I would be watching for. Um, what else could there be? Let me add extended trading. Makes it easier to see, kind of. Um, we could also break out, fail, and go short. That's always a good short pattern. Um, right. Last time I looked at overnight sessions so far, we're kind of moving down a little bit. Um, we could always break to the downside and go short as well. I just think that that's way less likely. Let me get to a larger chart here. I mean, I just don't see that. It's less likely. I don't like it. If we go short, if we do sell off, I'm really looking at it and going, okay, where do we find support? And it goes back long. That's really what I'm seeing with this. Um, God, I wouldn't even be surprised if we gap up to all-time highs overnight or something crazy like that. Um, if we fall back in to this range down here for some reason, very neutral in that area. It's like a no trade zone. That's all I got for now. Of course, look me up on Facebook, Dow Trader, and you will get a daily trading plan for the market. I'm usually have some pretty good ideas that typically work out in the daytime. And if you follow the plan, it can typically work out for you. All right, that's all I got for now. You know, keep your accounts green, practice strong risk management, protect your capital, don't chase crazy